What's up, everyone? It's Thad from Thad with Games, and today, um, a new gameplay for Sonic Frontiers dropped. Actually, yesterday this gameplay dropped. I just haven't watched it yet, and so this will just be a reaction video and also like kind of a thoughts video too. I'm not sure if I'll do an analysis like I have. And I haven't done any analysis on my couple other reactions, but maybe I will for this video since it's longer, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm just gonna play and just witness things.
Sonic's done a lot in 30 years. He's been a pioneer of the high-speed 2D platformer, an Olympic athlete, a respectable kart racing enthusiast, a fighter, a TV star, and a Hollywood blockbuster movie star as well. But he's never done open world, and Sonic Frontiers fixes to change that. I was fortunate enough to be one of the first people outside of Sonic Team to go hands-on with Sonic Frontiers, and let me just say, if you're worried about how the blue blur will fare in this unfamiliar genre, well, I think Crush 40 probably put it best. Open your heart, it's gonna be alright. The first thing that struck me about Sonic Frontiers was how uniquely somber and serene it was right from the outset. After flying into a wormhole with Tails and Amy, Sonic finds himself separated from his friends and all alone on an isolated island, with nothing but an AI voice guiding him to collect the Chaos Emeralds. There's no one for Sonic to bounce quips off of, no energetic Crush 40 soundtrack, just wide open fields as far as the eye can see. There's this guy definitely is not a Sonic fan. It's a vibe that's driven home even further by the beautiful yet minimalist piano melodies that accompany Sonic as he explores the island.
Okay.
All of this is a very intentional choice. I asked Sonic Team head Takashi Iizuka to describe how the tone of Sonic Frontiers
I don't know what to say. It seems like this guy is just...
He said, past games in the Sonic series have taken different tones depending on their stories and themes. This time, these mysterious islands are the game's major setting. That's why our artists have worked hard to create a mysterious mood. Of course, the big new change in Sonic Frontiers is the shift from purely linear levels to a huge open world where Sonic can freely run in any direction. But Sonic Team doesn't like to use the term open world to describe Sonic Frontiers'
open zone.
Instead, referring to its style as being open zone. Open world
I don't mind the open world things.
Just AAA games fundamentally have RPG or adventure worlds. For Sonic, the core here is a 3D action game. Our basic idea was to have that take place in open space. What sets Sonic Frontiers apart is this different approach to an open game world.
That is true, definitely.
Sonic Frontiers for about 4 hours, it's easy to see what Iizuka-san means. Sonic Frontiers' open zone design is very different from any other open world I've played. It's a giant playground. Every few feet, there's a bumper spring that bounces you like a pinball between 5 other bumpers before putting you on one of the many grindable rail tracks. Or a speed ramp that sets you on a completely different path leading to some other collectible or reward, or a line of rings that you can lightspeed dash into. Essentially, they've taken that core appeal of every Sonic level having multiple paths that eventually loop back around to the main one, and applied that to these giant non-linear open zones. One thing that has to be noted is that very few of these elements are built into the environmental design, meaning that rails, platforms, boost rings, and so on are just inexplicably floating in the air all around, which isn't totally unusual for a Sonic game, but it feels especially jarring in Frontiers in particular because of the frequent and sudden pop-in of these objects and the otherwise very naturalistic art style. Of course, it's worth emphasizing that this gameplay and the version that I played were from an early build, but this is definitely an area that I would hope to see improvement in the final version. Beyond that, there are also a wide variety of puzzles and challenges that are littered throughout the zone, and completing them is how you uncover sections of your map. Most of these are very simple, requiring you to orient a statue the correct way, quickly hop back and forth between colored tiles, or use Sonic's new side loop ability to draw circles.
I think the puzzles might actually get better throughout the game, to be honest.
The best ones, though, are the races against the clock where you have to get from point A to point B in a limited amount of time. The openness of Frontiers level design makes straightforward races like these a ton of fun, because you have to try and improvise a path to the end that might not be immediately obvious.
Stupid ad. Okay, I'm just gonna talk over this. That way I can avoid copyright and, yeah.
Download any
never
video
mind.
to watch
Yeah, look, it's an
anytime,
old Godzilla
anywhere.
movie.
Get YouTube Premium. All YouTube, no interruptions.
That's basically what it looks like. Anyways, back to the thing.
There are some exceptions, but combat in traditional Sonic games generally isn't a thing that goes much deeper than jumping, rolling, or using a homing attack.
To be honest, I
into
think the
enemies
combat
at
in
one time.
Unleashed is better.
That
I'm
changes
sorry.
in Sonic Frontiers, which now has you fighting all sorts of wandering enemies and mini-bosses using an all-new
Unleashed,
array
I
of
think, has the
incredibly
best
flashy
combat
attacks.
gameplay of
It's
any
not all
Sonic
style
game.
and no substance, though. Sonic is able to quickly dodge using the bumper buttons on the gamepad, and by pressing them together, he can even parry attacks with the right timing. His homing attack also feels much more powerful, landing with a ton of impact and keeping Sonic stuck to his enemy, allowing for a flurry of follow-up strikes. One of the things that I really appreciate about the combat from what I played is that there are usually multiple ways to deal with specific enemies. Like, take for example this guy, who has an impenetrable shell that he can expand into spinning blades and throw at you. One way to deal with him is just to carefully time your homing attacks so you don't get hit by the blades.
Yep.
But if you do that, the window to damage him is small. To increase that window, you can either parry the blades and knock them away right before they hit you, or you can even use Sonic's side loop ability to encircle the enemy, which causes the shell to go flying upwards.
That is a cool gameplay style, though, to be honest.
Defeating these enemies will reward you with EXP that you can use to purchase new skills from a skill tree, which gives Sonic Frontiers a really nice feeling of power progression, even in just the relatively short amount of time that I played. Some of the later skills that you can get are just unbelievably cool, and it's super satisfying to see Sonic Team experiment with different ways that Sonic can attack enemies beyond just spins, jumps, and bumps.
Yeah, that is neat, actually.
There are also a handful of enormous world bosses that I had to contend with. These are near Shadow of the Colossus-esque in their scale, with one in particular.
That is true. That's
the
something my
beast named
friend
Asura,
actually told me.
requiring Sonic to
I never
beat the
really
Titan
thought
to
about
slam
that.
the ground and then boost up its
Or
arm
he told me
order
in
to
some
reach the
kind of
weak spots
sense.
on its head. It's an ambitious boss battle, far beyond anything I've seen in the Sonic series to date, but
You know,
it's also the part of the game that needs the most work.
something I realized,
Far
though,
too
is
often
that
I'd
this
fly off the
boss
boss's
fight needs
arm
better
without knowing
music.
why, or I'd get to the top and for some reason lack
It's
the
too
momentum
calm,
needed to
but
actually
they
reach
might
the
change.
head.
They might
Sonic
put
must
that in
hunt
the
down and
patch
defeat
update.
these bosses
What
in
the
order to
F
collect
was
portal
that?
gears, which open up portals that lead to bite-sized linear stages, done in the style of previous Sonic games, giving Sonic Frontiers a nice mix of both old and new styles. These classic levels each come with a handful of optional goals, like beating the level under a certain time, collecting all the red rings, and so on, with each goal rewarding you with a vault key, which are needed to unlock the coveted Chaos Emeralds.
Huh?
Sonic Frontiers is an exciting new step forward for the Sonic series into uncharted territory, and based on my time with it, Sonic Team seems to have hit upon a winning formula. There's certainly still work to be done before it's released during the holiday season.
Definitely.
There's a lot of distracting pop-in,
Yes, definitely.
there's a fair amount of bugs still left to be squashed, and the big boss fights could do with some tweaking. But ultimately,
Yeah.
my time with this
The
early
boss fights
build
don't
answered
look
the
bad,
one
though.
question I had on my mind. Will
I think the
Sonic's
music
one-of-a-kind gameplay
should be
translate
the
into an
one
open
being
world?
changed.
The answer is a resounding absolutely. Thanks for watching, and tune into IGN for more Sonic Frontiers coverage as part of IGN First. And for everything else, keep it here on IGN.
Well, alright. So... Okay, this is interesting. I'll explain when the video ends. Yeah, so... So apparently there's these items... Okay, by the way, just so you guys know, I'm recording this on my phone. And so for some reason I can barely hear anything when I'm talking, when like my microphone is on. And so I probably missed quite a few important details, but from what I can tell, for one, there's going to be like these items in the game that are like similar to the Chaos Emeralds. They seem very interesting. Yeah, this game is definitely still in its, I think, beta stage, so there is probably going to be a lot to improve on. I think there's going to be a lot of patch updates, too, once the full game comes out, but yeah, this game, even though it still kind of looks a little blah, Um, I feel like it has a lot of potential to be good, and I think there's actually a lot of cool stuff that they probably aren't revealing yet. Um, I also noticed that there's going to be some kind of prologue in the last video I did a reaction to. So that's interesting. I think Knuckles is going to be a part of the game from what it seems like. And, yeah, the bosses look pretty good. The one I saw in the last video I watched looked pretty good. The combat looks pretty good. Though I do think the Unleashed combat is, I feel like, I don't know, I don't think it looks as good as the Unleashed combat, but, that's just me. Um, I'm actually starting to get, more into beat 'em up style games again, if that makes sense. I think I just mumbled that. So, but yeah, this game does look pretty good. I think I don't think the guy who's playing it was really that much of a Sonic fan. I could tell that he had a little bit of some nitpicks regarding the rails and stuff being in awkward places, in which I kind of agree with. Something else I was gonna say is that and I could have said this a couple of vids back too, but you know, they need to add more Sonic to the game. Like, it just feels more like, and I even said this in my video too a while back. This game feels more like Breath of the Wild featuring Sonic, and it just has like random springs and stuff everywhere. It feels like a Breath of the Wild DLC that's basically a Sonic. You guys get what I'm saying, so yeah, I don't know what else to say. Yeah, I'm just gonna end the video here and just upload it. But yeah, anyways, yeah, hey guys, peace out and have a great day, guys. Take care.